Hi crafters, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards and I've got a brand new card making tutorial to share with you all. Today we are going to be using our latest collection, the Floral Frames and Flutters collection, and we are going to be using that beautiful frame stamp and die set in the middle. I'm going to show you how to colour this in with your distress inks, how to add your glitters, and we're going to build up this fabulous project. Now, if you've tuned into our videos before, you will know that I love lots of sparkle, lots of matte and layers, really building up beautiful keepsake projects. If you want to simplify this card and maybe not use as many layers or make a smaller project, of course you can be doing that too. But you can take inspiration from the techniques and things that we've done on this project. We've also used some of our beautiful foiled acetate just on these little leaves here, and I'm going to show you how to glitter these up. And we're using the elegant flower die too to create these beautiful 3D flowers. So I really hope that you enjoy creating this card with me and that you can craft along. Okay then, we'll get started. So this is going to be the gorgeous project that we are making today. So we're going to be using the scalloped and pierced square dies to start with, and that's going to help us build up our mats and layers. So we're going to start off by taking a piece of a white card, and we're just going to trim that down to start with. So take our white card, and we're going to take the largest of the square dies. So we're going to take that die, place it down, and just tape it in place with a little bit of low tack tape. So we'll just stick that there. And then we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. So to do that, I'm going to use my base plate, my plastic shim, my die with my card on the top, and then my cutting plate. And we'll just run that through. Then we'll grab that at the other side. And there we go. You can see how that has cut that lovely fancy shape for us. So next up, I've taken a piece of this lovely like lilac patterned paper. Then I'm going to take the next die size down. Pop that back on there. And just tape this one into place again. So this is going to cut us a lovely pierced square. So we're going to use our base plate, our plastic shim, die cut side up, and then our cutting plate on the top again and send that through our machine, like so. And then we'll grab that when it comes out the other side. Like that. We'll pop that die back over here. So we've then got a piece of a lovely turquoisey kind of plain paper, and this is fab. This is from our A4 Leafy Lace printed paper pad, and this is great for using for your mats and layers. So I've taken a piece of this, and then you can see how on my card we've got a little bit behind the lilac, which I'm going to show you how to cut in a moment, but we've got another piece here that we've just popped on a little angle. So we're going to take, I think it's the next size down. Yeah, that looks about right. So we're going to take that one, tape that onto our paper. Got a lighter side and a darker side, and then we'll just run that through to die cut it. But these dies are fabulous because they're going to do all of the hard work for you with your mats and layers. So we'll run that through the machine. Like so, and then we'll grab that when it gets to the other side. lift that away so you can see the detail that we've got on the little edge along here. It looks fab. So that will then go on that piece at a slight angle. Okay, so next up we're going to take another piece of white card. So I personally like to build my mats and layers up first, especially when I know what project I'm going to be making. So I'm going to take another piece of white card and we're going to cut this scallop square next. So that's this size. So you can see how I'm just using my die set to refer there. So then tape that down into place, flip that over and run that through the Gemini. While that's running through, I've got a lovely piece of this swirl pattern paper. This has come from our Florals and Flutters paper pad. And we're going to take the next size down, the little square, and die cut this one out of here. So we'll keep that one there. And then we'll reuse that low tack tape. Just tape it onto here. And then just run that back through our cutting machine. And there we go. And then we'll just grab that at the other side. So that's all of our mats and layers die cut. The only extra one that we need to do is the one that we're going to utilise just to go around the edge of that lilac paper. So we'll pop these dies out of the way, because I've got some really cool techniques that I want to show you how to do. So just pop these out of the way so now. We'll put our cutting plates away. Okay, I'm going to just move those out of the way and we're going to take a little bit of scrap paper and we're going to do some glittering. So just take a sheet of white paper, just some scrap kind of copier paper. I'm going to take my Crystallina glitter, which I've got in a little tub. And I'm going to take my chisel tip glue pen, which is this one here. So we're going to start and glitter our mats and layers. Now before we do that, I'm going to take this purple one and I've got a little piece of the lovely turquoisey paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to just stick this onto here and just leave a very fine border of kind of that turquoise colour. This is completely optional if you want to do this, but I just tend to find it just adds that extra little bit of kind of colour to the project. So I'll just take my glue. So I'm just using my Collal all-purpose glue. Just going to shake that glue down to the bottom. There we go. And then just a little bit of glue onto the back of here. And there we go. Okay, and then we're going to trim this down. So to trim it down, I'm just going to use my little guillotine, which I've got here. So what I tend to do is just leave a little border just going along the edge. So I kind of just do it by eye. Like that. So you can just work round, trim that down. And then just give that a little shuffle, take a fraction more off. You can always take a little bit more off, but you can't add it back on. So then when we pop that against the white, you get that little pop of turquoise before you hit the purple, which looks really pretty. So what we're then going to do is add our glitter around the edge. So I have gone to town with all of my glittery mats and layers on this one. So what I'm going to do is take my chisel tip glue pen. I'm going to hold the glue pen at about a 45-degree angle. And then we'll just drag it towards me. There we go. Like so, and then just cover this in your glitter. Like so. So I'll pop that to one side, and then I'm going to take my next layer here. So there's this one. Just going to drag along the edge. Just using that chisel tip glue pen. Just covering this in the glitter. So it then gives it that lovely sparkly border. That, and then we're also going to do these 3 layers as well. So like I say, I really did go to town with the glitter and the sparkle on this one. So you can just work your way around, adding your glitter into there. Doesn't that always happen when you craft at home? Just end up with glitter all over your worktop. And we'll do these ones here. Just going to grab my little mini dust cannon brush there, just to get rid of this excess glitter. We've got there. Go. Right, so again, using that chisel tip glue pen, just dragging it towards you. Gives you that lovely straight line, ready just to add your glitter onto there. And final one, again, just drag that glue pen towards yourself. And that's going to give you a little border. There we go. Right, so we'll pop that to one side. We're going to put the lid on that glitter. Get rid of that paper that's covering glue. So we'll start to build our base card up now, and then we get on to the fun part of embellishing. So we're going to take our base card. So this one's 8x8 that I'm working on. I'm going to take my lovely first little mat. I'm going to take some foam pads. So these are, of course, our foam pads on a roll that I'm using. And these are brilliant. They are so easy to craft with. They're finger lift. So you can literally just peel the backs off these. Super duper easy. They're fabulous. So we'll pop that one into there. And then the next one we're going to pop on with foam pads. Now again, I like to make my projects quite dimensional. You don't have to. If you just want to do kind of not as many layers, or you want to stick some on flat, of course you can do that. It's completely up to you. There we go. So we'll just pop this onto here. And we'll take the next layer. Again, a few more foam pads. And we're just going to layer this up really. So just building that background. And then pop that on at a slight angle. Give it a little twist there. And then for the next layer, we're going to stick the patterned paper onto the white card. So again, we'll use our glue. So this is the Kalal all-purpose glue that I'm using. A little bit of glue on the back. Then we'll flip that round and stick that down onto there. Turn that over and then we'll just add a few foam pads just under the back of here. So we'll take our card back in and just stick that down flat like this. Okay, so that then creates the base for our project. So what I'm going to show you how to do next is I'm going to show you how to create these lovely elements here. So we're going to create that frame and the lovely flowers. Okay, so we'll move that card blank out of the way. I'm going to take our stamp. So this is from the Beautiful Butterfly Frame Stamp and Die set. So we'll open the packet up. These are usually quite well stuck. And then we'll take that lovely stamp and die set out. So you can see how you've got your stamp and you've got all the die elements as well. Take one of our acrylic blocks. So our square one is actually sized to fit these stamps. And we're going to take our stamp. So our stamps are all photopolymer. Now, because these ones kind of have a little hole in the middle, just need to be a little bit more careful when you're peeling that off the acetate. I'm just going to place that down onto the block. Now, I like to just give it a couple of seconds to rest, and then that'll be good to go. So what we're then going to do is we'll take a little bit of just plain white card. I'm going to take my anti-static bag and my clear gloss superfine embossing powder. So we're going to start off by just taking that anti-static bag and dusting it over the card. Now I'm only going to stamp this twice, but you need to do it 3 times for your project. So we're going to take that lovely stamp and we're going to ink it up. So lots of light tapping. I'm using a light grey ink pad. So this one's a VersaFine Claire. I'm going to take that, we're going to stamp it down. And we're going to lift that off, like so, and we've got that lovely crisp clear image. We're going to take our clear gloss embossing powder and sprinkle that over the top. Take some scrap paper, just tap away the excess. I'm going to go into there. Now I'm just going to grab my heat table, just pop down here. And we're just going to heat this up. So we're just going to hold that heat tool still, and then as soon as we see that powder start to melt and change, we are just going to move that heat gun. Yeah, there we go. Get that image all nice and heated, and what you'll notice is that powder goes from like a dull grainy colour to a lovely bright shiny like grey when it's done. Obviously that's because it's clear and showing the ink from underneath. So we're going to take that ink pad, we're going to ink that up. Stamp this again. So I'm just going to stamp it next to it. There. Press down. So you want firm even pressure all over the image, and lift that off, and again you've got that lovely crisp clear image. We're going to grab in our clear gloss embossing powder, sprinkle that over the top, tap away the excess, and then any remaining powders going straight back into that jar. there. And then we're going to use our heat tool and we're going to go in and heat this up. So just holding that heat tool still, we're going to just follow the image. Good stuff, and just let that powder change. Okay, and that then gives us that lovely crisp clear image. I'm going to just heat a little bit more here, but just think of this a little section there. There we go. Right, so I'm going to pop that to one side to cool. While that's cooling, I'm going to take just a piece of scrap paper and we're going to restamp the image. So we're going to just ink that up really quick. All I'm interested in is this centre circle. So just going to take that, position that down and press. Lift that off. Again, it hasn't fully stamped because I didn't ink around the edges. We're not bothered about that. We're going to give that a little blast over, just with the heat tool. Just to let that ink dry. Just give that a little press as well. Yeah, that ink's all nice and dried on there. So what I'm going to do then is take my scissors and just going to trim around the edge. So you're going to go in with your scissors and just trim out this centre circle. If you really wanted to and be really precise, you could do it with a die, but to be perfectly honest, it's just easy enough to just trim around with your scissors. So we're going to use that as a little mask. So what we're then going to do is take one of these images, this one here, we're going to take that little mask and place it over the top. So I'm just lining it up. I'm using these little butterflies as reference points. And then we're going to take one of our ink blending brushes and we're going to grab in 2 of the Distress Oxides. So I've got Twisted Citron here, which is more of like a limey green colour. And then we're just going to start to ink around the edge of the mask like this. So you want to start in the middle and then work outwards so you get like a nice little kind of gradient or like an ombre of colour. So you're just going to work your way around, inking this up like this. And we've got that little bit of green going on there. Now I like to darken that down a little bit because I think that colour is quite yellowy. So I like to go in with a little bit of peeled paint and just add a little bit of shade in there as well. And then when we lift that away, there we go, but you can see how we've got that lovely kind of green effect going around the edge, but you've got that crisp white kept in the middle, which is really cool. So what we then do is pop that to one side, give that a little bit of a chance to dry. While that's drying, I'm going to grab my butterflies back in. Now I have already done this one and I've got some that are dry. So you would need to do what I'm going to do now twice to get the dimension. If you didn't want to put as many butterflies on, you could just do it once if you wanted to. But we're going to take Peacock Feathers and Shaded Lilac in the Distressing. And this is a little bit of an unusual colour combination, but honestly, it works beautifully. We're going to take our ink blending brushes again, and we're going to go in and just start to ink the butterflies. So I'm inking kind of like the little heart butterflies in the lilac. So again, I'm starting at the body and then working up like that. So it gives you kind of that shaded effect and you get a little bit of a gradient. And then we're going to go in with Peacock Feathers. I'm going to start in the middle of the butterflies and just work out. Like that. So it looks a little bit messy, but trust me, stay with the process. It's all going to come together in the end. So what we're then going to do is take the dies. So we'll take this one first. So we've got the lovely little outer edge die. And we're going to place that over the top. So you're just going to line that up and then tape that in place. When you're using your low tack tape as well, always tape it in 2 places, because if you tape it in one, it can slip and move. So then we're going to take our Gemini plates again. So we're going to use our base plate, plastic shim, cutting plate on the top, run that through. And then we'll just grab that at the other side. So we've then got that lovely butterfly frame all nicely chopped out. And then we'll get rid of that one there. I'm going to use a little bit of clean low tack as well for the next bit, because I don't want to get the green ink on the coloured butterflies. So next up, we're going to grab our die set in, and we're just going to take the dies and kind of just place them over the butterflies. So you can get away with 1 piece of tape on these things. You will probably have to do this in 2 as well, or run this through your machine, because the metal on some of them, like that one there, it's just a little bit too close. This one down here, I think. You kind of need to be directly above. Place that down. And then we'll do the little half butterfly that's here. And tape this one. So this butterfly that's over here. We'll tape that one. And then we'll do this one at the top, and then we'll have to run it through once more to do those other 2. Right. So then we're going to take our plates again and we'll run this through. A bit concerned about that die moving, so I'm going to add an extra little bit of tape just under there. So then we'll just run that through. And grab those at the other side. And then when we push these out, we'll have all of those little die cut butterflies that are ready to go onto our project. Just take these away. Okay, and then we're going to take these dies here. There, and then we'll take this one at the bottom as well. We use some of this tape from over here. So this is just Scotch low tack tape that I'm using. So we'll flip that round, pop that onto the cutting plate and run that through. That at the other side. And we'll lift that out, and then we'll have those little butterflies as well. So you would need to do that process twice if you want to make the card exactly like I have, which is what I've already done, and I've got some that are dried. Now I say that because I've glittered them. So what we're going to do now is start to add a little bit of sparkle onto here. So I'm just going to do a couple of little sections to show you how to do this. So you're going to take your Arc Glitter Dries Clear PVA, And we're going to start off with a little bit of lime zing. So this is a really fine lime green glitter. So all you do is go in with your glue and just infill the leaves. Like that. Okay, so you do that all the way around the little circle. And you cover that with your lime zing glitter. Now the ink that we've used is probably still a little bit wet, so you might get quite a lot of cling. Once your glue's dry, just use a makeup brush and brush that off. When you do that, this is the effect that you'll end up with. Just this one here. Okay, so it looks really, really pretty, and you can see how you've got all that lovely sparkle on there. What I've also done is I've used a little bit of chunky Crystallina, so that's this lovely glitter here, and I've just gone in and glittered the butterflies. So what's really cool about this glitter is it dries and shows the colour from underneath. So you can go in and add your glue like this. I'm just doing this quite roughly here just to show you. You can dunk that in there, and then when it dries, we find the same butterfly. This is the effect you'll have. So you can see how it dries down and you get the colour from underneath. So on the purple butterflies, I used chunky Crystallina. On the peacock feather butterflies, I used Ocean Paradise, which is a lovely kind of tealy, turquoisey blue colour. Really, really pretty. So I'll just move these ones that I haven't glittered out of the way, and I'll bring in the ones that have glittered. And we can start to assemble this. So we're going to bring in our card blank again. Just make sure my fold's in the right place. And then I'm going to place that into the centre here. So just use some foam pads to stick this down. Just use a few foam pads just on the back. Peel that back in a way. And then we're just going to stick that down pretty much in the middle. Okay. We're then going to take a little bit of pin flare glue gel. So this is like a 3D glue. And this is amazing for sticking things down, but getting them 3D. So, just going to take that glue, a little bit of glue on the back of the butterfly. And what I like to do is press the body down so it's flat, but then leave the wings lifted. So it gives you this real 3-dimensional effect. So now it's kind of like just a little patchwork where you can just go around and play about and position the butterflies and kind of match them up. So grab these here. And just by angling the bodies down slightly, it does give you that really nice kind of 3D effect. I've stuck that on the wrong one there. I think that one should be up there. Looks better. There we go. And then we'll take the other butterflies here. So what I've then done is taken one layer and kind of just stuck it straight down. This. Can't pick the butterflies out of the little plastic box there. There we go. Just one more butterfly. There it is. And then what I'm going to do is, because I've done 2 of the tealy coloured ones, I'm going to take a little bit of glue, stick it on the back and stick it down, and then it gives you that kind of flying effect by folding it in half. Stick this one down here. Fold that in half. Stick that down there. Glue up there. Fold this one in half. A little bit of glue and then stick that down on the top. So you can see how that's starting to come together now and it's looking really pretty. So I'm going to pop that to one side and we're going to start to create the lovely flowers. So I've taken our elegant flower die, which is this one here, and I've die cut 4 of the medium ones in the plain design and 2 in the filigree, and 4 of the small and 2 of the filigree, just in plain white card. Okay, then what we're going to do is take these and start to ink them. So I've got some that I've already inked. Bring those in. And then I've got the little filigree one to ink as well. Let me grab those. So then we're going to use those same 2 colours. So we're going to use Shaded Lilac and Peacock Feathers. And we're just going to take our blending brushes. And we're just going to start to ink them up basically. So we're going to use that Peacock Feathers to start with. And we're going to just pop that into the centre of the flower, like this. And for doing this, I would just use plain white card. You want something that you're able to ink. I did do the finished sample with pearl, but I found that the ink took ages to dry. I had to heat set it in the end. So just by using your plain white card, it's much easier. So we're just going to ink this up. There we go. We'll pop that to one side. And I'm just going to use my heat tool just to help dry these off a little bit. So, I'm going to pop those to one side because I want a glitter one in them, but I just want to give it a little bit longer to dry. But while it is, we're going to take these ones that are dry and just pinch the petals. Like this. So you're just creating like a little valley fold down the middle. And then we'll take our pin flare glue. Just start to layer this up like this. And then we'll take our little filigree one. We're going to pinch the middle. Pop a little blob of glue on the back and stick that down. And then this is where you can use your little sparklers. So these are lovely kind of little diamante style embellishments. So I'm going to pop a little sparkler just in the middle of the flowers.
So
we'll do the same again. Stick that down. And that little sparkler just in the middle, like so. And then we'll do this one now. So I'm going to glitter this top layer, but what I would recommend is if you are glittering like this, have one chisel tip glue pen that isn't used on kind of white card, because sometimes it can pick a little bit of the colour up from the ink. So literally, we're just going to scribble over the top with our chisel tip glue pen. Like, there's no kind of technical way to do it. Pop that in, give that a little shuffle about in the glitter there. And then we'll fish that out. And you can see then how you've got that lovely sparkly little top layer. So pop the lid on that Crystallina. And we're going to build this one up. Let's have a little embellishment kind of created for this project. So. We go. So what we'll then do is stick those onto our card blank. Pop that glue out of the way. Grab our card back in. Actually, we're going to need that glue. So I'll take that pin flare. We're going to stick that down. So we're going to pop one about here. And a smaller one next to it. So you just have to be a little bit careful. If, like me, the flowers are still wet and you haven't really given them a chance to dry. A little drop more on there. There we go. You can see how that's starting to come together now. So we'll pop that to one side, because what I want to talk to you about is our fabulous foiled acetate. So I'm going to grab the A4 packing to show you. So this is our A4 foiled acetate. So basically what it is lots of leaves and lots of designs foiled either in gold and silver, so that you can use these as foliage on your flowers. So what you can do is select some of the elements and then go in with your dries clear glue on the back. So you're going to cover it in glue. It's going to look white, but then when it dries, the glue dries clear and the glitter shines through. You can then just go in with your scissors, and because it's acetate, you can just roughly kind of chop around the edges. This. And then we can just start to layer this project up. So what I've done is I've taken about 8 of these little leaves and I've kind of just cut them out, glittered them and cut them out. As you can see, we've got them here. And what we're going to do is just tuck these in behind the flowers. So, again, just using that pin flare glue gel, you're going to just go in and tuck these in. Just underneath. Like so. All there. Just layer these up. So I'm just using a little blob of glue on the ends. Like that. Okay, and then we're going to lift that and pop that to one side. And we're grabbing a bit of white card and we're going to do a sentiment. So in that lovely butterfly frame stamp set, you do get a sentiment that you can be using. So we're going to take that sentiment, pop it onto an acrylic block, and we're just going to use that grey ink pad again. Just going to ink that up. And we'll position that down and press. Lift that off and you've got that lovely crisp clear sentiment. Just give that a little dry with the heat tool. And then we are going to take our circle dies and we're going to die cut out this into a little circle. So I'm just using the plain circles this time, not kind of a scalloped or anything like that. We just want a plain shape. I'm going to just have a little look and see which size fits best in the project. It's probably going to be that one and then that one to cut the sentiment out. Just lift that back over there, lift that away, and then we'll tape this down into place. So again, because this is quite tight, I'm going to tape that into 2 areas just so it doesn't move. And take the other one, place that down and run it through. There we go. And then we'll just grab a little bit of paper or whatever. And we're going to just take that chisel tip glue pen again and our Crystallina glitter. Just going to glitter around the edge of this circle, like so. Dunk that in just to give it that lovely little sparkly border. I'll take a couple of foam pads just on here. Let's layer that little sentiment plaque up. Voila. Just position this onto the card. Just tuck that in there so you can see how that then looks. And then to finish it off, I'm going to take some of our little self-adhesive sparkles. So these are lovely little embellishments for your project. I've got 3 on here. Three on here. Do the same up in this corner here. One. Two, 3 there. You've got a lot more time than I have at home to kind of line these up and get them on nice and straight. There you go. And that would then be your completed project. So I really hope that you've enjoyed creating this project with me today. Of course, as always, you can shop all of our products online at www.chloescreativecards.co.uk. And as always, I've listed all of the materials in the description below along with the links, so please do have a look. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to our YouTube channel and you will be notified whenever we've got a fabulous new video up.